All right, so for my project, so we still have the IDE here, but let's see the new features. So if we open a folder, we'll do this test app that we have here. You can see here you have the files. You can view them. We can change the theme to light, high contrast, light, whatever. We have all those features. That's great. We have lane graph, which we can add templates. So let's say you want to add a React component, you can just add it and it'll add that template to your folder. So like let's say I just want to add this and I hit that, and then I go over here and I refresh, and it should have added it here. Let's see. Let's add this one. Yeah, you can see the custom hook that's just been added there. The app context, see it adds the app context there, so it adds these files in there, and then you can play around with them. So that's great. You have the same for Node.js, Python, Vue. We can add more of these templates as you move on. So that's great. You can see a code analysis for your files. So if I click this markdown, I can see the requirements, scraper. You can see how it changes for that. Um, Here we can analyze the project structure, so it just shows you your project structure, and you can see stats on the files, folders, types, those kind of things. You can search your files to see what's going on with the files. So I can see what's in each, or not what's in each file, but what type of files are there, which is great. And what I've just added is the find and replace. This is kind of the automation part of it. So the global find and replace really helps out. So if I want to type in like const and I search, here's all the files that have const, I can actually go in and change that to like, let's say I want to change it to let. I can change it to let. Um, and there you go. You can do that right there. You can change it, replace, okay, and it replaces it. So now if I go into that file, which is the use custom hook, I'm already in that file. Now I can see it says let right here. So let instead of const, so it works. So that's the find and replace. And then probably the best feature that I added was you can take any part of your code. So let's say I want to take this right here. I can take it. I can click explain, and it'll use the Anthropic API to describe what's going on there. So it's an easy way to learn. Like, let's say I want to see what these import statements mean. So I can see here, key functionality, the use custom hook interface defines the hook's return value, the value, current string, important notes. This is only the type definition part of the hook. The implementation is not shown. The hook appears to be designed for form inputs or search fields where debouncing would be useful. Follow TypeScript best practices. So obviously that's not a great example because it's not a whole lot of code. But if I copy, let's say I go back to this, change that back to const because I think we could use let, but let's just stick with const. We save, we go in here and we copy the whole thing and then we'll analyze it. And now it has more context because it's the whole file. So hopefully it'll have a better explanation. So this is a React custom hook that manages a string value with debounce processing and loading state. It provides functionality to set, reset, track changes to the value with built-in delay. Maintains a string value. So it tells you the whole thing. Obviously you don't have to understand this to a T because we're using AI to help us here. But that if you want to learn this as well, that you can use that. And I know Windsurf added that in their IDE, so I thought I'd add it as well. This new window, I couldn't get it working. I'm not going to work on that right now. Something I would like to add in the future is a new window, so you can create multiple windows if you're working on multiple projects. But otherwise, everything's working. So this comp def, this happens. These random things pop up on my warp terminal. Also, these just happen because of the terminal. It's just random stuff. But you can see if I hit ls, you can see the files want to see into public. You can see the files are working. So that's good. The terminal is working. You can change that. You can change this. You can go back to the AI feature. I can say what is 2 plus 2 in assembly. Um, it will give me a nice output, and I can even copy that into my thing. So yeah, it'll show me here's a simple calc with assembly. So I could even go in here and make a new file and say calc.asm. I go to the calc.asm. I copy this code in there. And there you go. You've got a little assembly calculator that calculates 2 plus 2. You can save it, which is great. So yeah, we've got our lane graph features, which is kind of analyzing our code base. We've got our find and replace, which helps us change things really fast. We've got our AI chatbot, which is basically our main thing that helps us build it. And we also can, explain it. We can do this, copy it or select it and explain it right here. It'll explain the code. So I think the explanations and the find and replace are two nice automation features that make this better. Um, yeah, and so we obviously the theme I told you about that, and then you can open a new folder if you want to start in a new folder. So this has the basic features of an IDE. The things that we'd want to that you could add in the future would be like turning it into more like a Claude Code or Cursor, where when you ask it to build you things, it knows exactly where it is. It automates the files and it gives you the option yes or no basically, and all you have to do is hit yes or no throughout the whole process, and it does the rest for you. This is a little more manual. This is how when I started vibe coding, this is how I started doing it. Was I would ask it to do things and then I copy and paste the code and test it that way, which works, but it takes a little more time. But you do have more control over it. So yeah, that's the gist of it. That's the Cody editor, and this is my final submission, and I will be leaving for Austin tomorrow. So thanks.